Up 7-1 in the C semifinal with Michelle Sarasso, Ralph Benarchik back with you at Adelphi. Here's a look at our C bracket. And Cold Spring Harbor, no surprise, Michelle, 17-3 against Friends Academy in the other semifinal. And one of these two teams will play in the championship for the first time in their histories.
I think this is a great opportunity for both teams to show what they really have to give to each other. Right now, Seaford is definitely taking the opportunities they need to get to that level.
And notable teams missing from recent time. North Shore, with their enrollment increasing, they moved up to Class B. And Manhasset, about 5 years ago, moving into Class B themselves. They were the ones that typically met in the championship game and had won all the county titles since this C class was created. And the earlier meeting, not long ago, May 2nd, it went 18-14, but you look up at the scoreboard, 7-1 in about 8 minutes of action. Michelle, Kurt Dankenbrink just used a timeout. What would you imagine his message was to his girls?
I think his message was that they definitely need to step up and start winning the draw controls. That is a huge part of the game.
Emma Shate overran it, and it is Shate that you would figure for the Vikings would have to get it, and she outlets for sophomore Alyssa Mallory. And Mallory will turn over to the left, freshman Alyssa Palermo. The Vikings love to run too. They get the ball inside the 8-meter Michelle Savino. And Savino not in any shooting position. 3-year starter on the attack. And now we get the foul here. And we'll check out what the call is. And if you're Seaford at this point, trailing by 6, you can't get. There is no 6-point shot. But for the Vikings, this may come as a bit of a surprise.
Yes, they definitely need to start stepping up, like I said, and winning those draw controls. If they can win those draw controls and come down and score quick 6 goals and make a comeback.
Alyssa Palermo just hit the pipe on the free position, and the foul on the Vikings. Left pipe on Alyssa Palermo. Transition for Oyster Bay. And Rebecca Lane picking up the call. So we come up on 10 minutes of action have already been played, and the Baymen here, the story and one of the best stories across Long Island lacrosse, just being in their 2nd season. Charlie Rizzuto has kept every single memento, and they don't have the trophy case yet. They've got everything else getting ready for it. They'd love to get an appearance. Here's another drive, Vanessa Yu. And Oyster Bay continues to find a way to get into the paint.
Vanessa Yu has been unstoppable. Vanessa Yu came down the right side in her strong hand, split the 2 defenders, put it right into her left hand, and took a high offset shot.
4 for Vanessa Yu. Well, incredibly fast was the description we were given by Charlie Rizzuto, and that might not be a strong enough word. Seaford has not been able to contain either of the Yu sisters. They both had big games in the regular season. But this is something else. Vanessa that day had 5 and 1. Michelle was held to 2 goals that day, but still 7 combined goals between them. And they'll have a chance to pass that in this first half. And on the drive, Vomvis making the save. Renee Savino had the look for the Vikings. First stop for the 8th grader, Vomvis.
That was a great, beautiful low save by the goalie.
All right.
And at Oyster Bay, we look at the transition with Megan McGuckin. With Victoria Prodan trying to apply the pressure. Vomvis will pick it up. And she's pretty aggressive out of cage. They've been working with her on that aspect as she'll get it away, but then it's turned over. Allison Palermo, and she hits another pipe, this time high, and up by the corner. Out of bounds, and we wait for the signal.
Way to go, Em!
Palermo came in, strong right hand from the side, faked the goalie, tried to take a high shot, and hit the pipe. Very unlucky.
Ball it back to Oyster Bay. And they'll skip it ahead, looking for more. Freshman Ashley Duggan. And Duggan to the middle. Part of this midfield with the Hughes and Rebecca Lane. Kaiser looking for the ground ball, and Seaford is going to come away with a defensive stop. And Michelle Savino able to have it to at least try to stop the bleeding for a minute. And tossed over, and here's Victoria Prodan. Prodan, varsity basketball and volleyball, coming off of 2 goals and an assist against Carl Place. And the Vikings are going to need all 4 of their senior attackers to have big games, trailing by 7. Still plenty of time left in this first half. Feed inside, turning and shooting. Vomvis making the save on Michelle Savino. So Vomvis has made 2 big ones to keep it at 7.
Vomvis has made some unbelievable saves, that shot being placed high.
They did not have a goalie in the program from grades 9 through 11, so she was the oldest one. Charlie Rizzuto didn't hesitate because he didn't have too many options. But after you had coached at Center Moriches, what about finding a goalie? I mean, you could find bodies and try to hide them in places, but how about for a young program, Michelle, to get it going and having goalies in the pipeline?
Finding a goalie can be a difficult challenge because you need someone who wants to be in the goal and wants to be active and stop those shots, and I think Oyster Bay has definitely found a goalie to keep.
And Vomvis will get it ahead. Good trail check on Vanessa Yu, and the ball knocked away, and the pickup for Seaford. And they'll have it, and they'll look to motor it ahead. So the Vikings with consecutive stops. And into the middle for Prodan. And across ahead too far of Jen Molnar, and the Vikings giving it back.
Seaford needs to really start to maintain those turnovers.
And you see Kurt Dankenbrink, he's already used the timeout after they had the early 1-0 lead on their first possession. Michelle Yu. Continuing, under 12 minutes to go. And Michelle Yu, offensive foul. The defender for Seaford, Caitlin Meyer, able to stand her ground.
Caitlin Meyer knew that Michelle had very fast speed and was coming right at the defender. She decided to plant her feet and take that charge.
Emma Shate, she had the goal for Seaford to begin the game, and she drops it off.
You gotta get in.
And outside, Alyssa Mallory. So Oyster Bay going back to a backer zone look. Jen Molnar. And the backer zone, I think, apropos that we play here at Adelphi, the place that maybe started the backer zone on Long Island, even when you were playing under Coach Joe Spallina. Seems like everybody related to Adelphi as Oyster Bay picks up a turnover. Anybody having anything to do with Adelphi lacrosse, I think majored in the backer zone, perhaps.
Yes, Adelphi was one of the best backer zones I've ever been able to watch when I was playing, and as an attacker, it was very hard to break a backer zone.
And you had a lot of practice with it, and here at Adelphi, it's contributed to championships, just winning their 6th championship, knocking off Lockhaven over the weekend down in Virginia. So we'll have a call coming against Seaford defensively. And Oyster Bay will have a chance at free position. There's a look at all those tournament appearances and championships. They have not added 2014 yet, so I suppose it's on order as there's a shot going wide for Oyster Bay. You would think maybe they just tape up a 1-4 temporarily. Oyster Bay having it on backup. And cutting outside Michelle Yu. To the crease, Kaiser left the ball a bit behind her. And Hannah Kaiser outside. Tremendous student, is going to attend Cornell next year. Now Vanessa Yu again, cutting through the middle, missed on the shots. Well, if you're a defender here, Michelle, you're a midi at Kellenberg and here at Adelphi, what would be the key to try to at least hold down Vanessa Yu at this point?
Her speed is the main aspect that she's bringing to the field. I would try and stop her as soon as before she tries to pick up her speed, because once she does have her speed, it is very hard to stop her.
And it'll be Michelle Yu. And perhaps even considering a face guard here with 9.5 to go. First half, midway through the season, Seaford went back to a backer zone after starting out the season playing man-to-man. Pass inside for Shelby Cook and the pickup here for Desiree Falk. So the Vikings have been able to get some stops, but the score's still 8-1 Oyster Bay. Now the turn, Ashley Catalanati for the Vikings, defender off the bench. And a bouncing ball at midfield. Catalani reaching for it. Jen Molnar will grab it. Molnar's played through injury all year. Was knocked into a goalpost earlier this season, jamming her shoulder. And still able to shoot, but doing that with pain. But a senior that would like to get Seaford into their first ever Class C championship game. Pro Dan. And Alyssa Mallory cutting through Jen Molnar and tied up, but she gets the foul. So the Vikings have already hit 2 pipes in this first half. Otherwise, they'd be a bit closer as we approach 8 minutes to go. Jen Molnar was a midfielder before that shoulder surgery, and here shooting, maybe not enough power on it, and Vombis easy on the save.
That was another great save by Vombis, but the clear got mixed up.
Emma Shane intercepting, and a layup for the senior.
Emma Shea definitely took the opportunity to pick up on that mistake made by Oyster Bay and finish with authority.
Emma Shea second.
That was perfect, Em. Perfect, Em.
Emma Shea was able to pick up that ground ball and finish right away when the goalie was off balance.
She's had a game-high 7 goals this season against decent competition against Baldwin, and actually a 9-goal game against Hicksville.
Stay aggressive. 2
playoff teams in recent time that play at the Class A level, the biggest school, so she's been able to produce. And we'll see if that gets Seaford going. They've gotten some defensive stops after getting punched in and perhaps even knocked out in this first half. Draw control, again Vanessa Yu. The 7th draw control in the early going for Oyster Bay. And Vanessa Yu looks like she's got plenty left in the tank here for Michelle Yu. Kaiser's already had a very pretty assist to Rebecca Lane in this first half. And they'll move it along. Yu to knock it down and just keep it quicker than Mallory to pick it up. And swung over behind Hauser. And behind Folks, able to recover. Michelle Yu to the wing, wide open Shelby Cook. Instead, they'll continue to run their offense with Kaiser. On the cut and shooting space, Vanessa Yu wide open, and Oyster Bay dissecting this zone in the first half. Vanessa Yu through a lot of green, a bouncer beating Folks.
That was a great shot by Vanessa Yu and a great offensive possession by Oyster Bay by being very patient. Again, Vanessa Yu's speed is unstoppable. She places a nice low bounce shot that ends up in the top left corner.
A 5-goal first half for Vanessa Yu. Had a 10-point game earlier this season at Calhoun. 8-pointer against MacArthur, bigger schools. And I think we're seeing that these numbers are not cosmetic against bad competition.
She already has 5 points in the first half, which is how many she did have in the last game.
9-2 Oyster Bay. So they're able to answer after we could probably call about an 8-minute drought after you put up 8 goals in a hurry, and they get the draw control again. And this time the battle, Jen Molnar having it on the wing, and Seaford able to win a scrappy battle. 6:40 to go, still plenty of time left for the Seaford Vikings. They've been sort of the bridesmaids in Nassau Class C in recent years. They've always been able to reach the semifinals. This is their 8th appearance, but they've never broken through to the C Championship. It's always been North Shore and Manhasset. And last year, Cold Spring Harbor is the 1 seed got them. As we get the foul here, and Seaford will have Alyssa Mallory on the wing. Another free position. So far, Emily Vombis has had good success on these. And Alyssa Mallory cutting it across, continues, and patiently hits the shot high.
There's a great free position shot taken by Mallory. She was set up on the left side of the field. As soon as Mallory goes in, she veers right to the right side, splitting those two defenders and ripping a sidearm shot right into the left side of the net.
Known for her great sidearm shot, Alyssa Mallory, coming off of a 2-goal game against Carl Place in the C quarterfinals. What's important on free positions? What do you teach, Michelle, to your Center Mauritius players?
It's important that they really take the chance to run the ball in and place their shot. Sometimes it's not about how hard you can shoot, it's more about getting yourself in, squaring up those shoulders, and ripping that shot and placing it into the appropriate spot.
Mallory able to do that to cut it to 9-3. So Seaford scored 2 of the last 3 goals. And on a draw control, this time Rebecca Lane. Every time Oyster Bay has had a chance at the ball in the circle, they've gotten it. As Rebecca Lane is tripped up. And we'll have a timeout as they look here at Lane.
Lane's coming down and getting chased by 2 Seaford players as she tripped and falls, and she fell pretty hard.
So they'll give the ball back to Rebecca. She started all of last year, and one of the toughest kids, Charlie Rizzuto says, he's ever coached, boys or girls. Battling through all kinds of injuries this year, a hamstring, shoulder injury last year, pass inside, hitting pipe, rebound, Kaiser, able to just outmuscle some Viking defenders and finish on the second effort.
It is so important that when you do take a shot and it does hit off the pipe, that you are ready to get your own rebound, and that's exactly what Kaiser did. Kaiser came around, up from the side, saw that she had beaten her defender, hit the pipe, picked that ball up, and finished it with authority.
I guess almost like wall ball for Hannah Kaiser. And while her number is a little bit down from last year's 70-point season, that's her 24th goal, but she had to be a leader this season, being one of the few seniors on this team and trying to help build the program. And what a foundation Oyster Bay has developed. There was just 1 year of JV ball last year in the varsity where they were pretty good at 12-2. Renee Savino for Seaford picking up the foul. And Savino will take it ahead for Seaford. And when you think, I guess, about an expansion team, Michelle, maybe you hope to have a few talented players, but certainly the cohesion that I think Oyster Bay is showing us looks like it's a program that has been around through the youth program coming up all the way for 10 years.
Yes, it definitely seems like these girls have played a lot, possibly when they were younger together, because they definitely are fitting very well together playing on the field.
And the key people responsible for this, among many families, as we'll get the free position coming up here in the wing for Seaford, Allison Palermo will have it. And Palermo will go in, and Palermo able to beat Van Bislo. So the Vikings at least manufacturing some goals on free position. 4 goals and with a couple of pipes. We might be having another ball game here and a shootout.
Palermo's lined up as the Oyster Bay defense does get in rather quickly on her, but she is still able to fight through that defense and finish the shot in the low left corner.
Palermo, a freshman that's been playing on the first midfield all year. And when these seniors graduate, it may start to become her offense. A lot of potential down the road. And the Vikings hoping it's realized today. So she gets one after hitting the pipe earlier on a free position. And Seaford cutting it to 6. And a draw control going back to Lane, and she is tackled. So 10 of the 13 draws in this first half have belonged to Oyster Bay.
That is definitely very crucial for women's lacrosse, is winning those draw controls.
And they'll have another possession with Cook. And off to Hannah Kaiser. And some of the key people involved in getting Oyster Bay this program, the parents of Hannah Kaiser, who actually had Hannah speak to the school board several years ago as she was entering high school. And Shelby Cook's family, as well as many others, but those are 2 of the more critical pieces that got it going and starting the program. And Miss Cook emailed a letter to the girls when they were in elementary school and starting lacrosse back when they were about in 2nd grade, saying, you know, we're looking to start a travel program, as there's the shot coming from Vanessa Yu and dug out by the Baymen. And this is kind of where it all started. So they were a travel team without a team and a final destination until the school board in Oyster Bay eventually got it going in 2012. So it has looked like it's been a seamless transition and playing well here in the C semifinals, as Folks will reach out and grab that loose ball. And Desiree Folks now for the Vikings. Can they cut it to 5, and she'll outlet it ahead to Alyssa Palermo. Palermo able to speed through the middle and into the 8, looking to drop it off for Shate and picking up the foul. So she's been the one that's been initiating a lot of grit for Seaford. She'll go back to the 8-meter. Palermo again, and Vombis this time making the save. And the rebound for the Vikings, Michelle Savino. And Seaford will try again as we come up on 2 minutes to go. Pass across, open shooter, Vombis, the shot having it blocked.
Lauren, good job, Lauren.
And a call coming. It's going to be a yellow against Seaford. Jen Molnar, perhaps a dangerous propel with her stick in the path of the defender, or hitting the Oyster Bay player, and a bad break for Seaford.
Yes, definitely. They said they wanted to stay away from those yellow cards. It's so important that they do, because now they are down by 6, and they are also going to be down another player.
And that'll take care of essentially the rest of this first half. And the Vikings had that problem in the regular season, where a yellow card of several different players takes them off the field. And in girls lacrosse, they're non-releasable. And Kurt Dankenbrink felt that they were just momentum-stopping kinds of yellow cards, where you take somebody off the field. And in the playoffs, it's also a 3-man officiating crew, so there's even more yellows to be given out. Michelle Yu charging in, and Yu with some good placement. Another transition goal. Oyster Bay on the man up gets it.
Keep moving those feet.
So a big swing there after the Vombis save, the yellow card, and Michelle Yu gets it back quickly.
Michelle Yu came right in. Very easy goal for her. She walked right through the defense, had a little stutter step, and was able to finish and place a beautiful shot in the little corner.
Well, you've coached and seen both of them, Vanessa and Michelle. How are they different?
I think they are very different players. In fact, that they like to go to goal different. You can tell that Vanessa has very quick movements in between certain defenders, as where Michelle will take the ball and focus on the space that she has created.
And it sounds like they can complement each other very well moving forward.
Definitely. They are both very fast, and they work very well together.
Still 1:34 left in the Jen Molnar yellow. Seaford will get this draw control, so they'll have a chance to approach 6-on-7, and almost getting to the point where they'll need to be aggressive the rest of the game, trailing by 7.